Continuing our discussion about the Chapter 5 review, we're going to start talking about polynomials and the anatomy of a polynomial and all its different bits and pieces. So let's dive in here. This is the definition of a polynomial. A polynomial is a collection of whole, non-negative powers of a variable, like x, or it could be y, or a, or b, or who knows what the variable is, of the form, and this is a little bit complicated and scary at first. Don't concern yourself too much if you don't remember seeing this before. A sub n times x to the n. This is going to be our highest power of x, and this is going to be the multiplier, or what's called the coefficient out in front, plus some other coefficient that goes along with the next highest power, and this continues on until you get the coefficient that goes with x squared plus the coefficient that goes with, and I'll just put this in here, x to the first power, and then the coefficient that goes with x to the 0 power, which is 1. And so where the a sub i's, that's all these different coefficients, so it's just referring to all of these. All of these a sub i's are real numbers, and they're called coefficients. So that's actually a vocabulary word. The a sub i's are coefficients. And a naught, that one on the end that actually has 0 powers of x, is called the constant term. So a naught is the constant term. Now, while that looks pretty complicated, let's just take a look at a couple of quick examples. You've probably seen these kind of things before. X squared plus 3x plus 2. This is a polynomial where here a2 is equal to 1 and a1 is equal to 3, and the constant term a naught is equal to 2. So those are the coefficients. Right, but it doesn't have to be in any specific order. It can be more jumbled up than that. 1/2 minus 3x cubed. In this particular case, if we reorder that in what's called descending order, this is a negative 3x cubed plus 0x squared plus 0x's plus a constant term of 1/2. And so these are our coefficients, and up front of the square and the x, these are actually what are called placeholders. So there are technically 0 x squareds and 0 x's. And so formally we have a3 equal to negative 3, a2 is equal to 0, a1 is equal to 0, and the constant a naught is equal to 1/2. So there you have it. The next thing that we want to talk about is a definition which should be familiar to everybody, is what's called the degree of a polynomial. The degree of a polynomial is the highest occurring exponent in the polynomial, or the highest occurring power of x. And in each one of these cases, let's see here, this is 2 is the highest power, so this is degree 2. Let's get that on there. Degree 2. This one is degree 3. So that's pretty straightforward. We might look at some other weirder situations, like if you look at a line like 3x plus 2, this is degree 1, even though you don't see the power there or the exponent. Remember that the exponent is 1, and 5 is technically a polynomial, and this one has degree 0 because it has no powers, or 0 powers of x. So those are some default situations. So constant polynomials have degree 0. Okay. Something that we're going to talk about and use quite a bit in the future is what's called the terms, or term of a polynomial. The terms in a polynomial are anything separated by plus minus signs. So going back to this first polynomial here, let me rewrite it. For x squared plus 3x plus 2, the terms are x squared 3x, and 2 individually. And for our other example, 1/2 minus 3x cubed, it just has 2 terms, although we could rewrite it with these 0 placeholders. We typically don't, and we have 2 terms, and there are 2 terms, and they are 1/2 and negative 3x cubed. More vocabulary. When you have a polynomial that has just a single term, it's called a monomial. Mono meaning one, not like the kissy disease. Monomial, single term. That would be something like 3x squared. The binomial, where the prefix bi is on there, means 2. And that might be something like x squared minus 4, 2 terms. Trinomial, I'm sure you've got it at this point, meaning 3 terms. That was that x squared plus 3x plus 2. And then the general term polynomial, meaning many terms, is just our blanket term for any kind of collection of powers of x, which is what we're talking about here. So 3x to the 7th minus 4x cubed plus 8x squared minus 3x plus 2. That is a polynomial as it has many terms.